where are Native Americans getting a story about an ape if there's no apes in the Americas?
My auntie's like driving somewhere to go pick up a family member like late at night, driving doing like 60 or something, and she's getting tired, so she rolls the window down and is like trying to play with the wind.
Okay.
And she feels something like running next to the car and like touch her hand.
Now you see they found chupacabras though.
Yeah.
Chupacabras is verified now. What's up today? We got Soldier, you a war dog? We got War Dog Yararaya. He's here, SICARII, Atlanta. He's formerly of SICARII, Phoenix, right? So let's talk about first, what brought you here to Atlanta from Phoenix? You left the great brothers like Tazarak, like Hadar, like Tazarak out there in Phoenix. My brothers, great guys, right? But you decided to come out here to HQ. What influence, what drove, compelled that decision?
Honestly, I've been trying to move out here for a minute, like long before I joined the camp.
Okay.
When I first started prospecting, that was like my first question I asked. I just didn't know if like you joined, you kind of stuck here. I just asked like if I joined, am I able to move around? Because
we can make lateral movements within the company.
I've been wanting to move up out of Arizona.
AZ, okay.
Yeah, I just don't like the weather.
It's too hot.
Way too damn hot, way too
dry. Dry ass heat.
For multiple months throughout the year too.
It doesn't let up.
Yeah, so from like March till end of November, I'm not trying to stay out there.
Pure heat.
Yeah, and then really, because my dad's from down here, we would come back sometimes to visit his side of the family, so I've been wanting to move down here and get closer to that side of the family, because only living in New Mexico then, I'm only seeing my mom's side of the family, growing up on the reservation, being around them, so.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the reservation, because a lot of people don't understand the res struggle. You know, a lot of people, we know about the hood, you got hood vlogs, hood video. You got videos in the res too, and people should check those things out to really get an insight on what life on the res is like. The res is a whole different monster. What the so-called Native Americans, Seminole Indians are going through, the tribes of Gad and Reuben up on them reservations, right? But my question is, what is res life like? Because you lived in AZ, so let's talk about where you came from originally and how you even got to AZ in the first place.
Yeah, so I was born in Gallup. That's like right outside of the reservation I grew up on. So I was growing up in Raymond Navajo Reservation. That's like West New Mexico.
Okay, so Navajo,
yeah.
Okay.
So born in Gallup.
How far is that from like Santa Fe?
Santa Fe is like an hour from Albuquerque. That's like 2 hours from my reservation.
Okay.
Grants is probably the closest city. Okay. So Grants is like where everyone goes to do like Black Friday shopping, go to like an actual store.
What is that like? You got like an outlet or something out there?
Yeah, they got like some little mall, really just like the Walmart. That's all I know about.
Okay.
To get groceries. So.
Well, y'all got a city out there, Los Cruces too?
Yeah.
Where is that at?
That's like southern New Mexico. That's where
college is at?
Yeah, New Mexico State.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
That's where my cousin's at right now too.
Okay,
so.
okay.
But yeah, so growing up on the reservation, and then my mom ended up going to grad school in Vegas at UNLV. Okay. So we moved out to Las Vegas for like a year or two. Then we go back to the reservation, then move to Albuquerque. So then I'm growing up in Albuquerque for some years, and then really just like no opportunities in New Mexico.
In New Mexico, yeah. That's always what I've heard.
Yeah, very limited. A lot of poverty all over New Mexico for real. So my mom ends up looking for a job originally out here this way. We were supposed to move to the south. Then we went to go watch my cousin graduate in Arizona. So then we kind of liked it out there. She looks for a job out there, and the same job that she's doing in New Mexico is offering like almost twice of what she was making in.
Need that.
Yeah. So she applies, gets the job, then we end up moving out there. So,
so that's how you end up there in Phoenix. Okay. So yeah, so the res. So you on a Navajo reservation. Now there's a video I want to familiarize or remind the audience about, which is Akon video Ghetto. And in that video, he showed a Navajo reservation. I think it was in AZ though, not in New Mexico, I forget. but it just looked like, you know, a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Yeah.
So if you can describe your experience there on the res.
Yeah, so with the reservation I grew up on, it's like I said, the closest city that actually had a store was Grants. So as far as like my surroundings, it was really just like houses. And it's
So Grants, you said the Walmart was there?
yeah.
So I was just talking to Taz about this too, because, you know, Spam came up. He talked about Spam, right? Y'all ate Spam on the res?
Yeah.
Okay, so Spam came up. So I was explaining to him that when I was young, you know, my parents, they implanted certain ideas into my head, right? That eating Spam was beneath me. Regardless of if we were in the hood on food stamps, there were certain levels that we wouldn't stoop to. And Spam was on the list, right? But also, I'm gonna tell you, I told him something else. So, coming from the West Coast, Walmart was also on that list. Walmart was introduced to me as a place where only white trash shops.
Damn.
Literally. So we didn't start really going to Walmart until we were like, till I moved to San Diego County in California. That's 2005, when Walmart became like a real all-inclusive place that we would shop at. Prior to that, like Walmart was like forbidden to shop at as far as my family went, because it was like only white trailer trash. Because even like in Washington, like when I was growing up, it wasn't even like, it was way out where the white people lived in the woods. Like it wasn't in the city where I lived at. We had Safeway, we had Top Food, we had Target, you know, stuff like that's where we was going. We're not going to Walmart. Now, a place like where I used to go get food, now there's a big ass Walmart there. You know, so now I would have went if I still would have lived there, but back then we wasn't doing it, and we really was, again, like I said, looking down at Walmart. So it's crazy, but certain things, Spam, Walmart, those are all on the list of things that we just couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. So yeah, but yeah, back about the res. So the closest store is in Grant. So the res is just hyper residential.
Yeah, very isolated, like, because our reservation too is like kind of up in the mountains. So
Okay.
out there it was snow. Like some of the houses, they had like the propane tanks too. So that was just something too, you think about like how, you know, people are used to having the gas lines run to their house. So out there, you know.
He got a propane tank, like they got a propane tank like a barbecue.
Yeah, like a big ass, like the thing you'll see.
But it
like,
was huge though.
Yeah, so like people can go buy propane to fill up, and then that was what they would use as like fuel or
to use their stove or to heat their water. Wow.
Yeah. So
see, and this is what I always like to put people to understanding of when dealing with the reservation is, the hood that you come from, most of these things are regular. A propane tank being hooked up to that's not regular in the hood. A hot water heater in your house is regular. Having a gas stove or an electric stove or a microwave, that's regular. Imagine having to have an overgrown propane tank on the side, and that's the only way to heat your house, to heat your water, etc.
And that's still a luxury
different.
too.
And that's still a luxury because everybody don't got that.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
because people, like I said, the nearest city is an hour away. So if you don't got a car, you're not able to go and refill that up. You're not able to go, like, we used to have to go chop firewood for my grandma because, like, that's just how you got to stay warm. It's not, you know, proper insulated housing out there. Everything is, what's it called, like substandard, like no codes for the houses too. So
and you see that when you see the reservation. So when people talk about the Native Americans, like they got money, they were giving reparations. You hear what he's saying? Does that sound like reparations to you?
At all.
I'm here to tell you that Section 8 house that you grew up in is way better than what they was living on them reservations. I'm just here to tell you that. The average Native American experience is what he's talking about right now. It's not a bunch of casino money. just to be real with you. And people really need to understand the reality of that when dealing with, you know, the tribes of Gad and Reuben, so-called Native and Seminole Indian. Okay, everything is substandard. How many people are living on this reservation, you think?
Like 200.
Okay.
Less than 300.
Okay, 300 people are there on that res. And you know, like you said, y'all having to chop firewood. How are people getting money there?
Honestly, I don't even, like, I remember my grandma, she worked for like the radio station out there. And honestly, I think she might have been. She worked at the radio station. My grandfather, he was something with like the church. I don't exactly remember his position, but other than that, it's really like, I don't really remember people having jobs like that. Otherwise, if someone had a car, they'll go and work in Grants, go work in the city, but it's just unemployment. Like I remember all my uncles and cousins just being at the house and.
What was they doing at the house?
Nothing like.
Was they drinking?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I had one uncle that was deep off into
Real alcoholic.
real alcoholism, like.
Plagues, though natives, very bad alcoholism, right? So on the reservoir, there's something I've always heard about, especially on this is about the West Coast Gadites, them West Coast tribes. Up in New Mexico, AZ, Utah, Colorado, up in that area. Goddamn skinwalkers, man. What can you tell me about skinwalkers? What have you heard? I saw a documentary on Netflix, Skinwalker Ranch. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's called Skinwalker Ranch. White man bought a ranch that was supposedly, so I'm gonna tell you this crazy thing about the story too, about the Skinwalker Ranch and why they say it's cursed, this ranch, is because there was a slave trade, because about the certain tribes was down there. I think it was a Pueblo and the Navajo having an issue, and the Pueblo subjugating the Navajo down there, and that's where the curse come from. And then there were different tribes that was backdooring other tribes with Esau. That was prevalent there in the history. So I believe that was the origin of where Skinwalker Ranch come from and the curse that went on there. So what can you tell me about skinwalkers, man?
The first thing, I forget the full name for it in Navajo, but
yeah, it's a long ass name.
for short, they just call them Yannies. So
Yannies.
they always say if you talk about them, they're gonna appear. So they always try to
so
refrain.
you manifest them.
Yeah, basically. So they always talk about like refrain from mentioning them, telling stories about them. But I personally haven't had no encounter with that.
Okay.
But my uncle and some family would tell me stories about like he would be watching TV at night and then see something outside his window that like just looked like some crazy figure. Next morning he goes out there and looks at the area where it was standing and it's like deer tracks, but it looked like a man or something. And then one time my auntie's like driving somewhere to go pick up a family member like late at night, driving doing like 60 or something. And she's getting tired, so she rolls the window down and is like trying to play with the wind.
Okay.
And she feels something like running next to the car and like touch her hand or something. So, but they usually say that like, it's kind of different stories, but they'll say that originally it was supposed to be like good magic. People would use them and like medicine men would go and travel far, shapeshift into like a bird or a coyote or something. To cover a lot of ground. Yeah. And go over there and try to heal somebody. But now it's like people, do rituals and kill an animal and wear its coat and do different things to.
So that's what they say the skinwalker is.
Yeah.
What is a skinwalker? I mean, you said it's perfect, but like, have you had any encounters?
Nah.
You never seen a skinwalker?
Nah.
Do you believe it's a thing? It's real?
I do, and at first I kind of didn't.
That's how you know he for the red. He said, "No, I ain't gonna cap. I really kind of think it's a real." You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, at first I kind of thought it was made up. Like same thing with
gorilla pills.
The uncle
Listen,
told me.
You take these gorilla. I'm gonna tell you something. I got brothers who taking these gorilla pills, man. They having hell of a dreams. You may dream of a skinwalker. UrbanGorilla.com. Okay, trust me. Go ahead, Slaki.
I was saying I had a uncle who was the same one who was like first introducing me into all this stuff. He was talking about like doing Bigfoot hunting. He used to be deep off into that.
Okay, he's up in the Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We can talk about Bigfoot. I'm off in the Bigfoot because Bigfoot is just a gorilla. All right, so I'm off in the Bigfoot. This might be this like a Bigfoot on my shirt here, right? But go ahead, so like yeah.
But yeah, so I was kind of skeptical of like the Bigfoot stories he was telling me too. I remember he said he used to do like the Bigfoot call where he's like clapping these wood bricks together.
Okay.
And that he heard something running out of the woods, and then right before it came out into the light, it just like stopped.
How familiar are you with Bigfoot?
Not too familiar. Honestly.
You ain't really researched the Sasquatch.
Nah.
You got to delve off into the Sasquatch, man.
You think that's something that's real?
I think that Bigfoot is real. The idea that there is an American great ape is not by any stretch of the imagination impossible. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe Bigfoot is like a ape man. I just believe there potentially could be an endangered species of American great ape. Certainly, I believe that that's possible. I've watched extensive documentaries about these things for years, but it's especially prevalent as far as believed and reported and the tales exist amongst, Native American populations. And this is all throughout the country though too. This is from the West Coast, from the Pacific Northwest, all the way down here to the Southeast, to Cherokees, the Challis in the Pacific Northwest, all the way to the Cherokee. Everybody got a story about an ape. Now the question is, where are Native Americans getting a story about an ape if there's no apes in the Americas?
Yeah.
Where would they know about apes? If there was no ape in the Americas, there would be no concept of an ape until the white man started bringing apes over and making movies like King Kong, which he wasn't doing. You see what I'm saying? They already was talking about this guy before then. So where the hell did they get the notion of an ape? Now, watch this.
I was about to say, don't it say apes and kings?
It does, but the but to that is when you look up that word, it's not necessarily. So for the king, had at sea a navy of Tarshish with a navy of Hiram. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. And I looked into this many years ago because I said, wait, peacocks, there's not a peacock is also a very specific thing, right? Especially to the Indian subcontinent. I've seen peacocks here in the Americas that were brought here. I've seen them running on the loose in Canada. But you look up that word apes, right? It's Kawap. Okay, this word does say ape, Salakia. It does say ape. It's the word for peacock, if I'm not mistaken. Peacock. See, peacock also says baboon or ape. Right, probably a foreign divination, some imported creature, probably a peacock. So they're not exactly sure about the word for peacock, but the one for ape is there. So that means that according to the scriptures, they was coming over here to the Americas. We know that Arsrif, and they were getting goods, the land where never mankind dwelt. So there was apes here according to the scriptures. So now that gives even more validity to the fact that there could be a Bigfoot, that there's this endangered species, very low numbers, but that still exists. Because even the apes in Africa are low. Apes are endangered, period. They've been poached a lot, things of that nature. So I believe there can be a very small population of apes here in the Americas, 1,000%. And again, now I said Gadites, but you go down to them Northern Kingdom tribes, them other Northern Kingdom tribes, because of course Gadites in Northern Kingdom, all the way down to the bottom, to Argentina, the Mapuche talk about an ape. So where did they get this idea of an ape from if there's no Bigfoot? Years ago when I was, first hot on the YouTube scene, and this is all spiritual because the Most High, he been showing me something. I'm gonna tell you what the Most High been showing me. He been showing me something over and over again, right? So I leave my phone running, YouTube video, right? There's one video, there's one ad, Salakia, that my phone keeps getting stuck on, where it won't skip the ad. I have to manually skip it. One ad. You know what that ad is?
Bigfoot.
No, not Bigfoot. It's the McRib. Now, y'all don't know why that's important. The very first video I ever made on the SICARII YouTube channel was called McRib Niggas Rebuked. This was December 2012, or like November, December 2012, around this time, 2012. I do this video in a hotel room. And what happened is they had a commercial, and it was about the McRib, and it was all black people in the commercial, and it was saying, heaven must be like this, heaven must be like this, about the McRib. And I was so appalled and offended that they were likening the taste of over-processed pork sandwich to heaven, that I did a video called McRib Niggas Rebuking. That's, again, the first video I ever did on the original SICARII 1715 YouTube channel. So I'm seeing that, and so I finally realized, why is it keep getting stuck on this the only ad is getting stuck on. So what is the Most High telling me, right? So then another early video I did was called Cryptids in the Bible, which what a cryptid is, when you deal with the study of cryptozoology, it's the study of hidden animals. Crypt means hidden, like apocrypha, right? Hidden. The hidden animals. These are, when you look up cryptozoology or cryptids, it would be Bigfoot, it would be Skinwalker, it would be the Mothman, it would be chupacabras. You know about chupacabras?
Yeah, that's like the Mexican.
Now you see they found chupacabras though.
Yeah.
Chupacabras is verified now, right? Chupacabras is insane, right? I'm gonna show you a chupacabras. Hold on. Yeah, you're right. In the post, chupacabras, right? Chupacabra or chupacabras, literally meaning goat sucker. Chupa meaning suck, cabras, the goat, sucking the goat, is a legendary creature or cryptid in the folklore of parts of the Americas. The name comes from the animal's purported vampirism. The chupacabra is said to attack and drink the blood of livestock, including goats. Now, they recently found one. Now, it say, okay. Now, we usually say, yeah, okay, so it's big, all over the place I've heard it, right? Now, reputed origin, appearance, plausibility of existence, hold on. Because it was one a couple years ago that they pretty much, chupacabra found pictures. There was one they found. This one. You see that?
Damn.
So this is chupacabra science, how evolution made a mythical monster, right? Oh my God. I gotta enter my email to read this article. Christ. Okay. All right, guys. I'm signed up. Look at this. Tale of a mysterious monster that sucks the blood of livestock have exploded in Mexico and the United States Southwest and even China since the mid-90s. When the chupacabra or chupacabras was first reported in Puerto Rico, now, just in time for Halloween, scientists say they can explain the stories with the help of an evolutionary theory. Flesh and blood chupacabras have allegedly been found as recently as June, making these monsters eminently more accessible for study than, say, the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. In almost all these cases, the monsters have turned out to be coyotes suffering from very severe cases of mange, a painful, potentially fatal skin disease that can cause the animal's hair to fall out and skin to shrivel, among other symptoms. For some scientists, this explanation for supposed chupacabras is sufficient. I don't think we need to look any further or think there's yet some other explanation for these observations. Likewise, a wildlife disease specialist, Kevin Keel, has seen images of an alleged chupacabra corpse and clearly recognized it as a coyote, but said it could imagine how others might not. It looks like a coyote, just really sorry excuse for a coyote. And Keel of the Southeastern Cooperative Wildlife Disease Study at the University of Georgia. I wouldn't think that it's a chupacabras if I saw it in the woods, but then I've been looking at coyotes and foxes with mange for a while. A layperson, however, might be confused as to its identity. Now watch. It's a chupacabra evolution. I'm not even gonna try to say this Latin term. Also causes the itchy rash known as scabies in humans. In humans and non-human animals alike, the mite burrows under the skin of its host and secretes eggs and waste material, which trigger an inflammatory response from the immune system. So basically they're saying this is a damn coyote with scabies, right? But I wanna understand how. So basically it's saying that the scabies has evolved. Now, here we go, Goat Sucker explained. Since chupacabras are likely mangy coyotes, this explains why the creatures are often reported attacking livestock. Animals with mange are often quite debilitated, and if they're having a hard time catching their normal prey, they might choose livestock because it's easier. As for the blood-sucking part of the chupacabra legend, that may just be make-believe or exaggeration. I think that's pure myth. So basically, these are coyotes who are infected with mange, who are attacking livestock because it's easy prey. So some of these things can actually be explained. Some they just haven't shown. You know, the evidence hasn't happened. There's also another cryptid that's in Asia. That's called a Maltese tiger. A Maltese tiger is a blue tiger. So imagine a tiger,
But the fur blue?
but the fur's blue instead of orange. Now this Maltese tiger, this is a real thing, right? But they died off. The last record I think is early 1900s. Let me look, hold on. Maltese tiger. Okay, the Maltese tiger, let me do the Wikipedia, the blue tiger, or a Maltese tiger. What's this? Okay, that's South China tiger. A sighting in around 1910 of an unusual blue-colored or Maltese tiger outside Fuzhou in the Fujian province was reported by Harry Caldwell. So yeah, somebody saw one, right? It says, the Maltese tiger, also known as the blue tiger, is a rare, unproven coloration of tigers that is said to have a bluish fur with gray stripes. The term Maltese comes from the domestic cat terminology for blue fur and may refer to the slate gray coloration of cats in Malta. The Maltese tiger is mostly reported in the Fujian province of China, but also been reported in Korea. The South Chinese subspecies of tiger is most commonly reported to have the Maltese tiger coloration, but the South Chinese tiger is critically endangered. Some believe the blue alleles may be extinct. The existence of blue tigers has not been scientifically proven, and some believe they are just legend. Okay, so hasn't been. It's feasible or plausible, believed to be extinct if they ever existed, and some don't believe it. But that's another one. So you have certain cryptids that are either extinct animals that are found to be existed, which that happens, or you have animals that there is proof of, but they don't have a corpse or they don't have any living ones, so they can't exactly prove it. And then there's ones that they feel like are complete myth, like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster, right? So the average, they think Bigfoot or Loch Ness, that's just ridiculous, right?
You said the lesson was called Cryptids in the Bible?
Cryptids. Well, I did a movie, not a movie, a video years ago, Cryptids. Like my first videos were like McRib Niggas Rebuke, Cryptids in the Bible, Punctuation in the Bible, what else?
So those are just examples of cryptids, not ones that were...
Yeah, I was showing one because in the Bible we have Leviathan, which would be considered a cryptid. You also have Behemoth, which is considered a cryptid. You have the beast that exists. Yeah, Behemoth is the one in Job. So you have certain examples. Then you have also Bel and the dragon. The dragon is another cryptid, but we see it being attested to in the Bible when we see it on the Ishtar Gate in Babylon. This dragon, right, of course, was not a large flying fire-breathing dragon, but a lizard that evidence suggests that the Babylonians went into Africa and captured this lizard, brought it back, and deified it when they had it in Babylon. And of course, it was killed by the prophet Daniel, as documented in Bel and the Dragon in the Apocrypha. So we know that there are animals that have become extinct, have become endangered, and may have very small populations that have gone into hiding. But we know there are things that these people are not aware of, that science doesn't want to tell us about, that the Bible does. So the fact that they'll do it at all opens up the possibility to a lot of these cryptids, a lot of these these animals that have been spotted by people, but have not been captured and put in captivity. See, the white man only want to acknowledge the things that he can put in captivity.
Yeah.
Whatever he can't put in captivity, he don't even want to act. He want to act like that's not a real thing because he doesn't want to feel like he can't put something in captivity. You know, that's kind of his thing. He's about, subjugating everything. Like an elder once told me, he said the goddamn fish are in slavery. He said the white man got the fish in captivity. You know, you see the you know, you go see the gorillas, the silverback. When you go see the gorilla at the zoo, the silverback looks miserable. He's got women. He got women, but he's still miserable. That's how you can see it. I got women, I'm still miserable in captivity. I'm a silverback. Silverback program coming soon, Gorilla TV. I'm still miserable, right? I'm happy, but you know what? Captivity is misery, right? So they're still miserable. I saw a lion at the wild animal park in Escondido, California. He had his 2 women. He was laid up, but you know, he was miserable. He just had this little, he's from a whole jungle. He's got this little area to roam. It don't matter, it's captivity. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, so cryptid, when you get into these are very interesting conversations, you deal with cryptids, you deal with Atlantis, you deal with skinwalkers and all this stuff. This is this fascinating stuff, man. And there's so much to this vast world that the Most High has created. To think that we have a firm grip on everything is egotistical, it's prideful, and it's ridiculous. They don't know what the hell is going on in the water. They have no clue. Let me just be honest with you. They have no idea what's going on in the water, right? They don't know what's going on this earth. Then there's so many things. There's so much of this earth that's hasn't been truly subdued, explored at the highest levels, etc. There's islands that are uncharted. We don't know what's going on those places, right? So it's interesting to talk about, you know, the sightings, what's been discovered, what's been purported, you know, these things. All that's very interesting, you know. So I wanted to do that with the Skinwalkers, man. You told me the Skinwalker. I know about Skinwalker Ranch. It's a decent documentary, you know.
That's what I was gonna say. At first, I didn't believe it just because it was the one uncle telling me about it. But then, how you were just talking about all these tribes having the same story, it was the same thing where one auntie's telling me about it, this auntie, this uncle, this grandpa, and it's just like, damn, all y'all having an experience, and it's all the same thing where it's crazy.
So you believe in the Skinwalker?
I would think so, especially after like coming into the truth and learning about like people actually doing dark magic, reading about the Egyptians doing the stuff that Moses was able to do. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, I can see now there's power on the dark side that these people are able to do something with.
The dark, like Darth Vader, the dark side.
I keep saying dark side, yeah.
But now we ready to go. You ready to go deep? Right. There's a song out there. I'ma take a nigga to Haiti. You deal with that right there. Now that's where things get deep. Cause I know people. I know a lot of Haitians now. And what you hear, men told me they seen men in the truth. They done seen a nigga fly, levitate. I done had a man tell me, he said, I seen a horse that wasn't a horse. But now, hold on. I'm gonna give it to you when it's saying horse, it's not a horse, because they're not Yahweh Shai cast evil spirits into pigs. Mm. And those pigs were possessed by those demons and drove those pigs to jump off them cliff and you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So for a spirit to hop on an animal is not unforeseen in the scriptures. Mm-hmm. Did not a donkey to speak? Yeah. The dumb ass spoke with man's voice. How? Well, that was through spirits, right? With that angel being there and doing what he did, kind of playing like ventriloquist to the situation, if that's what happened. I don't even know if we understand what's happening. All I know is the donkey spoke. The snake didn't talk, but the donkey damn sure did, right? And the snake did talk, but that was a man that wasn't an actual serpent. Right. So we can see things, and you know, everything, we filter everything through the scriptures. So if we take a look at the scriptures, like you said, damn, if they could take their staffs and turn them into animals, into snakes, well then there could be something to that, you know? Yeah. So all that's very interesting, man.
What about the picture I sent where it says a lot of UFOs have been spotted in America?
Well,
have you seen UFOs? Well, first speak on how you feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about these UFO sightings. I don't know how to feel. A lot of people are asking me. First they're saying they're drones. They're saying they're coming from Iran. Now they're saying we don't know what they are. There's a fake news clip out there showing that the United States are acknowledging they're not of an earthly origin. But we're seeing orbs as well. Now those orbs look just like planets do. I've observed stars and planets. That's what they look like. I remember the first time I really I was sitting in my driveway. This might have been 2017, 2016, somewhere around there. I'm sitting in my driveway and I'm watching Venus. Okay, what is Venus also called?
Some star.
What kind of star?
I forgot.
The bright and morning star.
Yeah.
Right? So I understand when Yahushua said, he that, endureth to the end, he don't say that he don't endure to the end. He that keep my works, or whatever. Give me Revelation 2 just so I can quote Yahushua properly there.
226?
Yeah.
You got the microphone.
Yeah, I got it. Revelation chapter 2, verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
Right. He that heareth my works, he said, what reading is it like it?
And he that overcometh.
He that overcometh, right? You overcome the world, you overcome the desire to sin, right? That's what the overcoming is. Go ahead.
And keepeth my works.
Keeping them works, following in the footsteps of Yahushua by keeping these commandments. Go ahead.
And keepeth my works unto the end.
Until the end. Not just for a time, until the end, until the time comes where you need to be saved. Go ahead.
To him will I give power over the nations.
To him will I give power over the nations. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron.
Read on.
As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
Go ahead.
Even as I received of my Father. And I will give him the morning star.
I will give him the morning star, right? That's important. So I watched the morning star. I watched Venus rise, right? And people always, the morning star, and it does have a negative connotation with Lucifer. A lot of people don't understand what Lucifer is, what Satan is, the difference between Satan and Lucifer, that Lucifer is not Satan and Satan is not Lucifer. Lucifer rather is the arm of Satan on the earth in the context of him being mentioned in Isaiah 14. The people in which Satan functions through, which will be the preeminent people of the earth presently. But you could take Satan out of it, that bright and morning star exists regardless. It doesn't have to have a negative connotation, which people don't understand. So the bright and morning star, the reason why that is, and I understood it, and anybody can just find out when you can watch Venus and you'll understand what's going on. Venus rises. I saw Venus sitting in the sky. Then that nigga took off. Venus takes off upwards on a direct trajectory upwards as the transition happens in the sky from dark to light. So that's why it's the morning star. It rises in that morning. So when it said that you're the morning star, when it said that there's the king of Babylon is a morning star because he rose to the top.
It looked like a shooting star, like that's how quick
it damn near, but it's not moving that fast. But it starts. It's sitting for a while, and then once it starts moving, I was tripping. I'm like, yo, what? I'm zooming in on it. I'm seeing it's an orb. It's a pulsating orb. That's when I understood that there's no such thing as planets. Yeah. We understood what's called a planet is just a star that moves. It's different from the fixed stars. The rest of the stars are sitting in the firmament at all times. The planets are stars that move. They're not fixed in the firmament. These aren't things that I could get on Deep Space Nine and fly and land and I'm on a new planet. That's not a real thing, right? So I'm watching Venus and it's moving. I'm like, God damn, nigga moving fast. What's going on? Why is he? But now I understand where that term in the ancient world comes. You have the morning star because you're going to rise and be the brightest star. You're going to rise and be the highest. So Lucifer, as is mentioned in the Bible, is the white man. That's who is rose, and now he's there. He has that preeminence. He has the morning star. But when the tides are turned and we rise back to the top, we're going to rise with that type of swiftness. And that's why Yahweh said we will have the morning star. That's why he will have the morning star. Because we will be those preeminent people. We're going to rise. So it's not just about the brightness of Mercury. It's about the way Mercury, not selecting Mercury. It's not just about Venus. The brightness of Venus. It's the way Venus rises. That's the whole purpose of that analogy of saying somebody has the morning star. It's talking about their rise into power, their rise to the top, their rise to preeminence. It doesn't have a negative, sinister, satanic connotation. Satan is Satan. Satan is not Lucifer. Currently, Satan is functioning through Lucifer, preeminently, prominently, right? But when we have that morning star, there's not going to be any negativity there. It's going to be all positivity. We're going to be healing the world, not destroying the world, you know?
And that goes right into like how in Ezekiel, it talks about the Most High setting his glory amongst us in the sight of the heathen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. A city on a hill cannot be hid. All that, it's just talking about rising. So people be so spooked out about it, but it's talking about a rise to the top, a shine. Right? Our people talk about rise to the top. Didn't I think Mace had that song?
A come up.
Right? Yeah, horse and carriage, right? And we gonna rise to the top. I used to love that song so much when I was a kid, horse and carriage, Mace. I love that song. So when it said we gonna have the morning star, all it's saying is we gonna rise to the top. We gonna shine. We gonna get our shine on, like Birdman said. Right? That's all that is. People want to get spooked out. Just take your spooky antennas off for a second, right? And just analyze the analogy, analyze what these terms mean, analyze what the Bible is telling us, and you'll understand what's going on, why we're going to have the morning star. You know? This is deep. This is really deep. This is the deep end. This is really deep, man. You know, and this is what I'm talking about. This is quality podcasting right here. Where we're going into deep topics, people thought-provoking. People are gonna just be, their thoughts are gonna be provoked. It's thought-provoking. You know what I'm saying?
So what did you think after watching the documentary about the Skinwalkers?
I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I don't know what to think. It was interesting. I didn't watch. I probably fell asleep on it or something. So I really have to go revisit it. I don't know what to think about the Skinwalkers. I hear so many things. Haiti, it's so many things that go on. Like I said, niggas flying and demons possessing stuff, and it's a lot in Haiti. Voodoo, you know, voodoo is real. I can tell you that without any question. So that's the thing. People ask, do Haitians do voodoo? The majority of us do not do voodoo, but all of us believe in voodoo, meaning we understand that it's real and it is powerful and it gets done on people. All of us believe in that, and coming in truth, I understand where voodoo comes from and how it's just a corruption of the Levitical priesthood. I get it totally, because the Most High gave us ability. You have to remember, he said, okay, I'm gonna give all the tribes this and this and that, and these guys I'm giving me, right? He said, let thy Urim and Thummim be with your God, be with your Holy One. He said, let it, meaning it was our choice. It was our option to use these abilities for what we wanted to, right? So we're told to do it in righteousness, but we could do it in wickedness. He's not taking that from us. Right? God gives gift without repentance.
Yeah, right.
So he gives us this gift to have certain insight to do certain things. Right? So whether we're doing them right or wrong, we still can do them. So you see what's called claromancy. Claromancy is casting lots. Right? So we do that. We cast lots in voodoo. You see what I'm saying? You cast lots and you find out what is being told. See, you got people doing tarot readings. My sister do tarot readings, right? My sister Lauren Money right now, she on Instagram promoting tarot readings. A priestess, right? She went left, but a priestess. That's what she is. She's understanding that she have a spiritual ability that she has to market that. I have no idea. I woke up one day and her ass was doing motherfucking tarot reading. I said, a priestess indeed. Hitting these people over the head though. Because the tarot card stuff is such BS. And people are into that, but what you understand, I remember I went to a party, me and Cap, you know, we were huge. When Black San Diego was really cracking, we were faces, we were pillars. You know, we were at everything. I made sure to keep us active in that community. And that's it. Shout out to San Diego. Active, you know. We're to this day, we still the centerpieces at Juneteenth in San Diego. I'm thinking about going to San Diego. We probably need to go to San Diego for Juneteenth this year. Yeah, because that's the best one, and we really get a lot of respect out there at that San Diego Juneteenth. Now, we go to this party, this Black San Diego party. It's a going away party. It's two of the prominent sisters in the organization. They're going to like a trip to Africa. They're going to Ghana. Mm-hmm. And you know, we step up in there, and I look over, man, and somebody's doing tarot readings. I look at Kevin, I just laugh. I said, they're such low level. That magic is so low level. This is low level. It's not even real magic. You know, you understand tarot cards. Tarot cards, it's a game. The cards we have right now, they come from tarot cards, right? So tarot cards were just a game that was created to play. And then somebody just made up that they had a mythical origin and started saying that you could
get fortune from it.
Get fortunes from it. So watch, but see, I'm gonna show you, right? Let's go tarot cards. Have you watched From?
Nah.
Yet? You watch From. The leading theory about From is it's a game of tarot being played, and every individual represents a card. It's on MGM Plus. I watch it through Amazon with the MGM Plus extension. Yeah. Look, tarot. Playing cards in the early tarot-like games. Tarot cards, then known as tarocchi, first appeared in Ferrara and Milan in northern Italy, with the Fool and 21 Trumps being added to standard Italian pack of 4 suites, batons, coins, cups, and swords. Scholarship has established that the early European cards, so they're European, were probably based on the Egyptian Mamluk deck invented in or before the 14th century, which followed the introduction of paper from Asia into Western Europe. By the 1300s, Europeans were producing their own cards, the earliest patterns based on the Mamluk deck, but with variations to suite symbols and court cards. The first records of playing cards in Europe date to 1367 in Bern, and they appear to have spread very rapidly across the whole Europe, as may be seen from the records mainly of card games being banned. Little is known about the appearance and number of these cards, the only significant information being provided by a text of John Reinfeldlin in 1377, who, in addition to other versions, described the basic pack as containing a still current 4 suites of 13 cards, the courts usually being the king, ober, and unter, although dames and queens were already known by then. So this was just a tarot. I mean, this is a playing card. That's all it is. People have now took it and said that we can tell a fortune with it. What is that? But here's the problem, though. Again, the scripture said, Levi, let thy Urim and thy Thummim be with thy Holy One. So what I'm saying to you is that we have an ability to use different things to get messages, right? So the tarot card don't mean anything, but because you can have a Levite get a hold of that tarot card, it can then mean something. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't mean anything by itself, but if somebody who has a spiritual ability, a gift from the Most High to do certain things, then they can do it. So she's over here slanging these readings, getting money off these readings because she can. The next motherfucker just reading. I know another Levite. It's another Levite that's on my Instagram right now. Right, I'm good. Beautiful young lady. She do the same thing, right? But the reason why they can do it, even though it's wicked what they're doing, but the reason why they can do it is because the Most High bestowed us with a fortune, with a natural fortune-telling ability. Do y'all know what the word priest means in Hebrew? Kahan? Kahan literally means to foresee bad events. That's what it means in the Hebrew. So that's what our ability is, to be able to see something bad happening before it happens. So a Levite can tell people's fortune. But see, the beautiful thing, like I try to tell people, is I don't need a tarot card. I don't need voodoo, because the Apocrypha says that the law of God shall be an oracle. An oracle is a fortune teller. So through immersing myself in the commandments as I was supposed to do, as I'm commanded to be a teacher of my people, I'm supposed to teach the Israelites the law. That is the job of a Levite, right? What does it say in Malachi 2:7? Right? We shall be the ministers of the law, and and the nation shall seek the law at our mouth. So through immersing myself in the commandments, I can tell you what's going to go good and bad based off of the commandment. It's an oracle. It's going to tell me the future. You do this, this is going to happen. I don't need any magic for that. I can just go based off of the wisdom in the scriptures and how I've applied them to life and observed things in life, and I can tell you what's going to happen. I don't need a trick. I don't need to do a 3-card, take these bottle caps in. I don't need to do none of that, right? So that's the difference between when you're doing it for the Most High, when you're doing it in righteousness, and you're doing it through some other way, is you don't even actually need the props.
Yeah.
You just come book a counseling session. I'm going to tell you what's up. Don't you worry. And go ask the people who get counseled. I got a brother, he's telling me every day, he's like, man, you don't understand. Ever since I started getting counsel from you, everything is up. I'm instructing them what to do, right? Not for any other reason other than the Most High just gave me the ability to do that, right? So, and again, he's a lot of what he's got going on is in business. In a business that I have no familiarity with. I've never done that, right? But I still, just from the overall wisdom and ability, prowess the Most High has bestowed me with, I can assist him there, and I can assist a lot of people in things that I may not actually have experience in. Why? Because stuff ain't even all that different. It may seem different, but a lot of stuff boils down to the same things, right? But I say all that to say, yes, let thy Urim and thy Thummim be with thy Holy One. So there definitely is power that exists and can be tapped into in this world. We see it clearly in the Bible. Again, how can Pharaoh throw his staffs down and they turn into snakes? There's clearly something that they were tapped into, an ability that they had. The scriptures talk about the magicians in ancient Egypt. Right. There was magicians, right? So there is some type of magic that exists. There's no denial of that, right? There's no denial of that. So, these are things that, as we get closer and as we go home, as we get closer to deliverance in the kingdom, we'll begin to understand. In anything we can't come to understand here, we're going to understand there. Yeah. And we're going to be fully tapped into it in righteousness. And that's a beautiful thing and a powerful thing, to be tapped into that in righteousness. There's no telling what we're going to be able to do in the kingdom when the Most High, he takes all the governors off of us as far as that goes, because of course we're righteous at that point in the kingdom. So there's no fear as if we're going to do something wrong, because we're not. So we're going to be able to have everything at our fingertips at that point. What's stopping us? So that's heavy. That's a lot to think about. A definite lot to think about.
Dogs in the hood that just be roaming and shit. It'd be like random dogs.
Just random stray dogs in the red.
Stray dogs that, dogs ain't getting neutered out there. It'd be random stray dogs, and then them shits would just be like, there'd be dogs that actually be like eating people. Like the reservation my mom works on in Salt River, she done told me stories about like dogs having to get put down, biting people.
Biting people?
Yeah.
There's packs of rabid wild dogs.
Yeah.
On the res.
Rabid dogs.
No collars.
No collars. Like, I remember I had to do Amazon out there, and damn near every house you pulling up, it just be random dogs just like roaming. Not just like from the homeowner, but like just
they're just
over.
there.
Yeah.
All right, so this is like there's a book I read. Gary Paulson? No, not Gary Paulson. What's this nigga, man? I'm gonna tell you right now. No, it's not Gary fucking Paulson. It is Gary Paulson. They used to make us read these books in elementary. Right, where are these works? Can I get his works? Bibliography. Gary Paulson, bibliography. Hatchet. The nigga had the book Hatchet. Right? So watch this. Hatchet. I remember this. Hatchet. Back to the primitive. Watch this.
They asked, if you found $500,000, who the first person you called?
You asking me that?
Yeah.
I'm not calling nobody.
Exactly. I just found $500 million on the phone that's being tracked. Shut the fuck up. Man, this shit stupid. I just found $500 million, good. Don't sit your dumb ass down.
What is?
Damn, so you don't even work tomorrow?
I work tomorrow.
I thought you.
Well, we still going. You good? I'll cut you out. You good? Sorry. Okay, boom. The River, Brian's one of Brian's. I think Hatchet is the one I read or was supposed to read. I don't. Brian's saga plot. Okay, Brian Robeson is the 13-year-old son of divorced parents as he travels from Hampton on a Cessna. Yeah, the Cessna crashes. Right. Pilot suddenly suffers a massive heart attack and dies. Brian tries to land the plane, but he runs out of fuel and sees nowhere to go, so he ends up crash landing into an L-shaped lake in the middle of a vast forest. Brian survives the crash with only a few minor injuries. Throughout the summer, Brian learns how to survive on his own in the vast wilderness with nothing but his windbreaker and a hatchet, a gift his mother gave him shortly before his plane departed. He discovers how to make fire with the hatchet and eats whatever he can find, from rabbits to ruffed grouse, which he nicknamed fool birds, to turtle eggs, fish, and berries. Simultaneously, he deals with many of nature's dangers, including mosquitoes, a porcupine, 2 huge bears, one of which is the mother of her cubs, a pack of 3 wolves, a skunk, boom, boom. Okay, hold on. Where is the one about the goddamn dog? Gary Paulson, dog book. Hold on. Not My Life in Dog Years. You got a book called Dog Song. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to remember this shit, man. Back to the primitive. Book. There's supposed to be a chapter in that book. Hold on, book chapter. Whatever. There was a chapter in the book, I remember this fondly from elementary school, called Back to the Primitive, and it was about that dog that was like supposed to be like a domesticated canine, like your standard dog. How it starts reverting back to being like a wolf.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So it sounds like that's like the res dogs. They're like halfway back to being wolves,
Primitive,
basically.
yeah.
Primitive. They're not like your domesticated house dog. These niggas is savage. They're ferocious. They're primitive. They're living off the land. They're aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, things of that nature. Wow. So the res got res dogs.
Yeah.
How rampant are res dogs?
Depending on the reservation, I only know a personal experience with 2. So it would be the one that I grew up on, which I would say is pretty rampant. Like my grandma's house, she only had 1 dog. That was, to me, a pretty domesticated dog. Never attacked no one, really barked at nothing. And then the neighbor next door, I remember he had like a pit bull or something that just always seemed to, if it got out, like it would probably attack something. And I remember one time, me and my brother, we was walking to my other grandma's house and just randomly like 2 big ass dogs out of nowhere just chasing us. And I'm just thinking like, if this dog get me, I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, and then in Arizona, that's just like, to me, the most rampant I've ever seen. Like it's just at least, each house is gonna have at least 3 or 4 dogs, and then it'd be random dogs coming up there too. So it's all over.
So each house has 3 or 4 dogs that are stalking it, that are not the possession of the owners of the house.
I would say probably if this owner has 1 or 2 dogs, then it'll be like 3 or 4 random dogs that don't live there. Because I'll see the dog like go back in like the dog house or like.
So the dogs got gangs.
Yeah, pretty much.
The dogs are having the homies over at the crib.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they're moving packs too. Like I remember I was going.
Yeah, they're very
somewhere-
pack-like.
Yeah, so I'll see like 3 dogs running together and just looking like they're trying to go find some food or something. Like,
They out there up to no good, straight mischief.
yeah.
Dogs on mischief time. Wow. Okay, so we got res dogs, skinwalkers, drunk people.
A lot of drug use too. Yeah, like
Crystal meth is big.
yeah, especially in New Mexico. Yeah, especially in New Mexico. Like I remember when we first moved to Albuquerque, our neighbor was like, it was some white trash people, but our neighbors were meth heads.
Okay.
Like obvious meth heads.
Yeah.
But I remember my cousin had got on that bad too. Like she used to babysit me and my brother, and then one day, you know,
She couldn't watch out no more.
yeah.
She's gone.
Yeah, then the next time now she's better, so.
Okay, all
but
praise, yeah.
The next time I had seen her though, I was just like almost unrecognizable. Like,
Wow.
like sad. Me and my brother was just talking about that too. Like, man, it was heartbreaking that she used to pick us up from school, and then we would go to her job after school and like eat for free and stuff, and then you just don't see her no more. And the next time you see her, you know, skin all fucked up.
She's just gone.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I know that of course alcoholism, drug abuse is rampant on them reservations. For sure. That ain't no secret. Hasn't been. That meth, I know that meth is really tearing up a lot of reservations. Then you got reservations that have casinos. Are you familiar with reservations that have casinos?
I mean, I know about them, but like
You never been to them?
yeah. I mean, when we moved to Arizona, that's when I actually started seeing casinos.
Okay.
Like, only
Y'all
one
ain't
I
got
know-
none in New Mexico.
There is one. It's like San Diego Casino, but that's like way away from where we was
Okay.
growing up. So I don't even think I've ever been to that casino in New Mexico, honestly. I think there's a Sleta and then San Diego. But yeah, once we moved to Arizona, then my brother, he works at the casino in Arizona. So,
Okay.
so I'll get kind of familiar with them. And then the casinos in Arizona are pretty nice, honestly. So.
Yeah, okay. I've heard good things about the AZ casino. Yeah, but you deal with a res with a casino, and that brings in different problems. So the res with a casino is going to do, number one, now you got a casino for people to go get into mischief at.
Yeah.
And a lot of casinos, they're 24 hours.
Yeah.
So now you have people who are getting checks from the revenue garnered from the casino, and now they're blowing their check at the casino, getting drunk and gambling at the casino, right? So it's like a cycle. Then you have greed and corruption as well. So now you have where the chief is driving around in a Phantom. I've heard about stories like this in on the San Diego reservation, Barona specifically. The chief might be driving around in a Phantom, but the rest of the tribe is still living in subpar housing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? They still ain't fixing nothing, but he's riding around in the Phantom. You got a car, a couple $100,000. You mean to tell me we can't figure out what we can do about, helping up the standard living of the rest of the tribe? And all this is coming off of the casino money that's supposed to be dispersed amongst the tribe. What's going on? So you have greed and corruption. Then you have infiltration. So also what happens is all of a sudden white people are tribal members somehow, some way, magically. People who have not a drop of Native American blood are becoming tribal members, and pretty high up tribal members as well. I've heard about this in San Diego where you have white people who are high up and getting serious. Like Cap, his baby mom, her little brother's best friend was this white boy who was a member of a tribe and had so much money that every Friday he would have food trucks pull up to the school and basically sponsor the party at the school every week. That's how much money he was getting from casino revenues. But this is a white boy who really had no right to touch the revenues. But then you also have predatory corporations like Harris. So what Harris will do is tell you, we'll come build the casino on your reservation because it can be built on your reservation. But you guys are gonna owe us because we're gonna front everything to build it. So now you're locked into where Harrah's is profiting off of you. Off of so you're not even getting all the revenue you're supposed to get off the casino because you got to pay the white man that came and built the goddamn thing on there in the first place, and you know he got you in some messed up contract from the jump. So it's a lot with those casinos, and it's definitely not all it's cracked up to be, and it's definitely not enriching Native American people the way you would think it would be or the way it was allegedly intended to be, which I highly doubt the intents were ever positive. We know that this is a government in which that has screwed the indigenous people at every turn. So I highly doubt that anything that they did was for the betterment of these same people whose land they have totally stole.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a community college out there too. They got it on their homepage where they talk about how the government came and like took that land for like super cheap and like tricked the natives into buying it with like the U.S. money at a low price, like a few bucks, and now they try to offer free education to the native tribe out there.
And that's the, you see what I'm saying? That's the, get further indoctrinated with your system. That's what you're giving back to me.
Exactly.
And this is something, it's a brother, Baba TV. Shout out to my brother, Baba TV. People don't know who Baba TV is. Baba is a protege of Sonetta, right? And when they was on them blocks, 125th Street in Harlem, you know, you would see them side by side, right? Baba is a big, tall brother. That's my brother right there, Baba. He's upstate New York now, and he recently did an interview with some guys up there in upstate New York, and they were talking about the Iroquois Treaty out there in New York, and how the treaty was a trade agreement. Now, mind you, got Iroquois who not speaking English. They signed a trade agreement, right, with Britain, and the trade agreement essentially was that they were going to sell their land to Britain for cheap. We can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
Right? We understand what the scriptures say about them, you know, being covenant and truce breakers and false dealers and all those things. And, you know, that's what's going on. So what's going on in the res, the hood, these other countries, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Haiti, Brazil, etc. It's all the same, man. It's all the Israelites experiencing the curses named captivity, and there's one solution, which is repentance. That's it. That's absolutely it, man. I think this was great. This is really great, man. We're gonna close out. Gorilla Pills, urbanworld.com. Trust me, you're gonna have amazing dreams. Just brothers were saying they're having great dreams. I'm not gonna guarantee you're having amazing dreams. I can't guarantee this is gonna help your overall energy. I can't guarantee it's gonna help your blood flow and your vitality. This is gonna help you all around in your day-to-day as a man. It's gonna help you. I can't guarantee that for sure, right? And you may have the side effect of lucid dreams, right? You may. With that, we give all praise to the Most High and say shalom.
Shalom.
Eyes on the track.